Hey guys, it's Otaru. Um, so for tonight's video, we basically have a discussion about Harry Potter versus Twilight. What do you guys think? Like, if you look at Harry Potter and Twilight, which one holds more for you, I guess? If you look at Harry Potter, you've got Hermione, Ron, Harry. Harry obviously is the protagonist. He's the main character. He's what this whole series is based on. And he's just look at the deeper character, I guess. You've got a strong, hard-headed, very humble person. Whereas you look at the main character of Twilight, Bella, who is very shy, not outgoing, she's very apathetic, she doesn't really have many feelings that we see on a daily basis. You've got Then you've got, best friend of both, for Ron and Hermione for Harry Potter, and then you've got Jacob for Bella. Harry Potter's best friends, Hermione Granger and Ron Weasley, are, they're also in his age group, and they're both wizards. Hermione kind of outshines him a little bit by doing all the fancy magic. Um, Ron's a little bit the same, and I really, really enjoyed watching those characters grow up through the years with Harry Potter. If you look at Harry Potter, the entire story, it's about defeating Voldemort. It's an amazing story. You know, Look at the parents of both of our protagonists. You've got the Potters, Lily and James for Harry. They're deceased. They were married, and they both died protecting their son against, who, aka Voldemort. Um, with Bella Swan, her parents are divorced. Her father's a cop. Her her mom marries a baseball player, and just lets her do whatever she wants. She goes across the country to stay with her father, who doesn't have that much time for her, and she's got to cook all of her food. With Harry, you see an abused child, an extremely abused child. He's beaten, he's yelled at, he's called names, he's chased by his cousin, he's malnourished. It's not even good to see that. I'm gonna jump from, the lead males of the story, which are Harry and Ron for Harry Potter, and Edward Cullen for Twilight. Edward Cullen, he's a vampire. He's extremely logical. He's overprotective, but he kind of gives it a creeper attitude, if you so will. Um, he even admits it in the story. He likes to watch Bella sleep, and for some reason, I'm not okay with that. I mean, you don't see that in Harry Potter at all. You don't see any creepers. You don't see, anything like that. You see teenagers and older wizards who are just there to guide them and protect them. In Twilight, all you see is a girl who's needy and clingy, and she doesn't really know what's going on around her. Because of that fact, she doesn't understand her life. So, what does she do? She gets attached to a vampire who's 103 years older than her, and she's only 17. And if you look at that, Stephenie Meyers really doesn't set a good example or send a good message out to her readers. She sets a message out there, so, oh yeah, hey, I'm 13, I can date a 34-year-old. Yeah, no, not okay. Just not okay at all. I mean, she sets it up so that it's okay for an underage child, a woman, and male, I suppose, if if you're a guy and like enjoy Twilight. It sets it up so that an underage minor can date an over 18-year-old adult. It sets it up so that women think that it's okay to enjoy an older man's company, which I don't have anything, against that if you're over the age of 18. If you're over the 18, you can do whatever you want within reason. But if you're under 18, you have to date people that are at least 20 years old. If you're around 16, 17, 20 years old will be correct for you. If you're 13, 14, no, you can't date somebody that's 42, 43 years old. That's not correct. That's not good. That's not healthy. That person should go to jail and or prison for that. You need to definitely think of it that way. You need to think of it as you don't date people that are 10, 20, 30 years older than you if you're only 13, 14. You need to be, doing what you do at a correct age limit for you. Harry Potter, let's go back to the leading female characters. Okay, Harry Potter, you've got Hermione, who is a strong-willed, beautiful, gorgeous, clearly independent woman. She's always been that way. She stays true to her character the entire story. She is a survivor. She is a scholar. She is what we humans would call nerds. Go to, Twilight again. What is Bella? Again, she's clingy. She's, she gives off two messages that it's okay for you to cheat. I mean, look at that kiss in I think it's the second book, the second or the first book with James, and how he hunts her. It gives off the message that it's okay to kiss other people. No, it's not. If you're with somebody, you need to be with them. You don't see Hermione kissing other guys when she's with McLaggen in the fifth book, I want to say, fifth or sixth. You definitely don't see Ron going off and kissing other people when he's with Lavender in the fifth or sixth book. Even Cho and Harry in the fourth book. You don't see them going off and kissing other people. Fifth book, sorry. You don't see it. Well, it sets a really bad example, is all I'm trying to say. Let's jump to the seers of both books. You've got Alice, who's predictable, shakeable under extreme circumstances, and you've got Trelawney, who's extremely unpredictable, but shaken, and she's on Harry's side. Alice has the power to, predict the future, actually, as it's happening. She sees it as the people make the decision. In J.K. Rowling's books, Trelawney sees the future, and that's what happens. There is no changing the system. That's what's supposed to happen. In my personal opinion, and I know that this has nothing to do with this, but we can change the future to an extent. The only reason for that is because if it's supposed to happen, if we're supposed to change our minds to change what we do, then it's supposed to be that way. We can't defy what nature has for us. So I believe that, J.K. Rowling's Trelawney is so much more, correct than Stephenie Meyer's Alice. I mean, it's the way that it happens. Now I'm going to jump to, the evil side, which in this case would be the Volturi for Myers and the Death Eaters for Harry Potter. Let's see. I'd say that there's one character from each side that I would really like to talk about. I'm gonna go with Aro for Myers, and I'm gonna go with Voldemort for um, Harry Potter. Okay, Vulturate, Aro. He's the leader, obviously. He is much more stable in his emotions than the other two of his little group. He's also more adept, I'd say, at his decisions than Voldemort. Voldemort just kind of jumps at the gun. Aro, at least, he gives Bella and Edward the chance. He's definitely got a cool character, if you know the way that I'm talking. He's got an extremely cool character. His character, I don't think, could ever be, wrong in their decisions. Jumping to Harry Potter, it's, Voldemort is a leader, a strong leader. He's very unstable mentally. He wants to rule the world, obviously, but he doesn't give Harry a good reason to join his side. He murdered Harry's parents, per se, and I think that's kind of, what kind of makes us love to hate Voldemort. Just, it's what Voldemort did. Twilight, again, jumping back, it's just all around not one of my favorite things. Going back on a certain character that we all know, Cedric Diggory. How do you make a strong-willed Hufflepuff from Harry Potter into the sparkling, vicious, vegetarian vampire from Twilight? You've heard so many people say that you see the jokes on Facebook, you see the jokes on Harry Potter websites, on Twilight websites. I've heard talk of people going to Breaking Dawn just to yell out Cedric wasn't supposed to live, or kill him, or something like that. How does it happen? Why do Twilight fans think that Edward is so hot as Edward? Because, I'm not gonna lie, I am a Harry Potter fan. Just, what makes the difference? What literally brings it to the point where Harry Potter fans have to get vicious over Edward Cullen being Cedric Diggory, and vice versa? Sure, he was a sparkly vampire for Twilight, and according to my English teacher, as I am in college, that's all that Robert Pattinson is going to be able to play, is a vampire. But I think he did an excellent job as Cedric Diggory. So, what do you guys think? What do you guys feel about Cedric Diggory becoming Edward Cullen? Was it wrong? Was it not correct? Did you hate the fact that Robert Pattinson took that role? Did you know that he was Cedric Diggory? Or did you not care? That's just my thoughts. Onto the werewolves. Yes, one of my favorite subjects. Jacob Black and Remus Lupin and even Greyback, Fenrir. Who do you guys like more? Jacob Black is the over-large, extremely furry werewolf, or do you like Remus Lupin and Fenrir Greyback, the extremely hairless, you know, tall, human-like. Because if you think about it, the real translation of werewolf is human-like wolf, where wolf of the moon, wolf, but where is also human-like wolf. It's all Latin based, the translations.